Hey, everybody, it's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie, and today we're going to be doing a journal processing video. I know, it's been a while since you've seen one of these from me, but I'm sure you'll be seeing some more very soon. So what I'm doing is I am going to be taking out a few things before I get started. Now, what I found is that it's been kind of hard for me to be motivated to actually do some junk journaling. And I've been dreaming about junk journaling. I mean, really, I've been dreaming about it. So I thought a great way to get motivated is to have some pieces already together and ready for me to put into the journal. So what I did was I took like some sticky notes out and some scrap pieces of paper, and I already wrote some of my journaling on those. So all I have to do is to glue them onto the pages whenever I'm ready. Oh, and I forget, if you are new to the channel and you love junk journal videos, then this is a great place for you to join our community. You can hit the subscribe button below, hit the notification button, and also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up after you're done, or you can do it right now as well. And I'd love to hear your comments about what your favorite part of this process is. So some of the things that I took out was some sticky notes as well, because you can find beautiful sticky notes at any dollar store if you have one available near you. And I have tons of sticky notes, so I just took a few out and I began doing some journaling just on the sticky notes only. And then I also had some photos that I wanted to add into the journal as well, so I began cutting them down. And I cut them down into various shapes, so they're not all square. I kind of made some of them like reverse Polaroids. And so I left a little bit of space on most of them where I could do some writing. So here you'll see where I had some journaling already done on some coffee dyed paper that I had. And I'm also using some scraps to kind of layer the photos in as well. Now keep in mind, I have no idea what I'm doing before I start doing it. I just decided to pull out my scrap papers and just pull a few out and put them on the page and see how they look. I'm also using various types of adhesive as well. So I used a tape runner. I also used some wet aqua glue, and now you'll see me, I'm putting down some double-sided tape. So your options for adhesives are endless, and most of the pages that I put into my journals, they can take almost all the adhesives very well. You just have to really be cognizant of how it looks on the back of the page. But for me, it doesn't really matter because I already know in my journal most of the pages are pretty covered up once I actually get done, because I love just adding all types of elements and textures and colors and you name it. That's what I put into my journal. So now I even took out my glue stick for this piece, because this was a thin piece of cardstock. It's almost like copier paper, so I knew that the glue would actually hold it very well. Now, I attempted to do some doodling, y'all. I know I'm not very good at it, but I like doing the little doodles, and I'm just trying to do it a lot more. But like I said, I'm not good at it, but I know that, but it's good enough for Lizzie's journal. And I'm just cutting off some of the extra paper off of here. I decided to put in some washi tape, and actually this little journal that I did with the eyes is about when I broke my glasses. And just oddly enough, I picked the same washi tape that I used to hold my glasses together. And so I'm putting that in the middle just to make sure that that little piece of cardstock kind of stays put in place. Now I took out some photos from when I went to the beach a few weeks ago. And I wasn't sure how I was going to place these on, just like all my other layouts. But I did know that I didn't want to use that white piece of paper. when I get done with my journal, there's really no white pieces of paper left in here. So I decided to take out my watercolors, and these are some very inexpensive watercolors. And of course, I'm no artist. I think the only thing I can draw really, really well is a stick person. But I do like the abstractness of just putting some colors on the page to make it look beautiful. In any case, it looks better than the white page. So I just picked a few colors, and this probably took me about maybe 5 minutes to do, because I just used the same brush and I just dipped it in some water just to kind of clean the brush off, and I just dabbed it here and dabbed it there and just put down some nice colors that I thought would reflect my beach layout here. I actually love the way the colors came together. I was worried that they were going to turn too purplish, but they didn't. So I took out my Sharpie fine liners, and I decided to put just a few little notes onto my kind of reverse and abstracty Polaroid pictures that I had here. And I really liked the way that they came out. However, on one of them, I kind of made a mistake, and I had to kind of dump that, and you'll see me cut that off in just a little bit. But I like the Sharpie fine liners because they have a really nice point on them, and those are actually my writing utensils for my journal. Those are the ones that I like the most to use. Now I took out some scrap cardstock, and it's from the tropical something pad that I've been working on. I can't remember what it is. It's a tropical something pad that I got from Michael's, and I've had it for like about 2 years. I may have had it for even 3 years. And so I started putting things on the page, and I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make these like some tip-ins so I can still write behind it, because I had like a really good story that I wanted to write, and I think it's gonna be pretty long. And so I'm going to just do this as a tip-in, and then I'll go back later and put in my actual journaling, because it's always fun to have tip-ins in here. So I suspect this journal is going to have lots of pockets and tuck spots and tip-ins by the time that I'm done. So I just use some scrap, and I use some fabric in here too, because I like to kind of mix it up and use different types of material. So we already have like paper in here, and we got our photos, and so now I wanted to put in some material as well. And it almost looks like I sewed those elements on. So that's a trick for you and a tip. You can sew things ahead of time, even if you hand sew it and then glue it into your pages, and it'll look like it's sewn onto the page. So that's what I did with these particular tip-ins. So this was the photo that I actually cut that little piece of writing off, because there's no mistakes when you are doing junk journaling. Only fixes, creative ways to fix things. So I decided to go back to my layout, the first layout that I did here. I wanted to add just a few more elements, and I decided to take out some old flags that I made like way back in the day when I was doing a lot of planning. And so let me use some of these. I thought they would be nice to kind of zhuzh the page up just a little bit. And then I put down some of a photo ephemera that I have over in the shop as well. And I really like these because I just wanted to add just a little bit of a note to each of the photos that I had here. So those are like just the right size to put into here with our little page flags. And it almost looks like a bit of a scrapbooking page. I talked about this before. I just think junk journaling is just a book with scrapbooking elements in it. So now I have some page doodles here that I had sewn ahead of time, because it's always nice to have lots of things done up ahead of time so you can just put them into your book. And here's some paper clips. I wanted to decide which paper clip I wanted to use to hold my leaf doodle on to the page. I'm going to go back and use that as a journaling opportunity as well. I can turn that over and write on it, so I thought that would be nice because this page just needed just a little something more. So you can see all the pages came together quite nicely. I had things made up ahead of time, and I use the process of having those things done, like fussy cutting the botanicals and writing things already on some little notes. I use those to help motivate and inspire me to really dig into my journal and just make those pages really beautiful. I also made sure I use some washi, and I'll probably be using more because I have tons of it as well. Now, I would love to know, what part of these layouts did you enjoy the most? Which ones will you be trying yourself? I love the way everything came out as well, and I want to thank everybody for joining me on my junk journal journey. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.